So we've spoken a lot about electric vehicles here on the motoringchronicle.com. That is an understatement to say the least. And something that we've spoken about quite a bit is the zero emissions mandate, the mandate that is coming into force in the UK, and some companies falling foul of its regulations. And something that we've given a kind of fleeting mention to are EV trucks, EV lorries, if you will, for us here in the UK. Now, the demand for these has never been that high. It's probably the area of the automotive industry that has the lowest level of electrification in terms of the vehicle type. Could be incorrect with that, but either way, it's a lot lower than what it was really forecast to be, and also compared to other sectors such as SUVs, other kinds of cars, even vans, of course, too. So the zero emissions truck demand has stagnated here in the UK as the overall market has normalized. Let's have a look at the full details of this though, because there's a full article here on the motoringchronicle.com. Let's go through this one, guys, as always. The UK's new heavy goods vehicle HGV market fell for the first time in 3 years in 2024, with registrations down by 2.7%, according to the latest figures published to date by the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, SMMT. The decline, however, including a 3.3% drop in quarter 4, is compared with a strong 2023, which was the busiest year of truck fleet renewal since 2019. Indeed, with nearly 45,000 new registrations last year, it means that 2024 is the second best annual performance across that 5-year period. So even though it's gone down, it's still really high. The annual decline was driven by falling demand for articulated trucks, down by 12.4% to around 19,000 units, which offsets a rise in deliveries of new trucks, up by 6% to nearly 26,000 units. Demand grew for box 13.4%, curtain-sided 7.1%, and tipper 0.9%, as well as flat 4.1% truck bodies. But tractors remain the most popular body type despite a 13.4% fall overall in registration to around 18,500 units. While the cyclical nature of HGV fleet renewal can cause annual fluctuations, it is concerning that operator demand for zero-emission trucks fell by 7.3% to just 217 units. That's for the entire country, by the way. So this is what I mean by the EV lorry market being so low, or I should say the EV HGVs. Gotta love those acronyms. That has an overall market share of 0.5%, the same as in 2023. So the overall percentages remain the same, but the overall amount has lowered because the market as a whole was smaller in 2024 compared with 2023. The UK has signalled it will end the sale of all new non-zero emission HGVs weighing up to 26 tonnes in 2035, almost 3/4 of the markets last year, so uptake must grow exponentially in the next decade. It probably won't. Manufacturers have invested significantly to deliver a wide choice of ZEV models, but the higher cost of production means a higher acquisition cost for operators, in addition to expensive depot infrastructure upgrades, posing significant barriers to uptake. The UK has the world's most ambitious end of sales target for non-zero emission vehicles, as well as HGVs, and substantial support is needed to meet them. And we've covered that extensively here on the motoringchronicle.com. We're going to do very well to meet those ZEV mandate demands. I don't see it personally. We've not seen the end of this by any means. Given the plug-in truck grant available to fleet operators since 2016 is set to end in 6 weeks' time, an updated replacement that offers genuinely compelling incentive for all new zero-emission HGV models, along with support for depot upgrades, is critical. Such support will be available to a limited number of fleets taking part in the HGV and infrastructure demonstrator program this year. However, with results not expected until 2030 at the earliest, further measures are needed to take even further. The provision of en route infrastructure is also limited, with fewer than 5 HGV dedicated charge points on UK roads. Mass market adoption of zero-emission trucks depends on their charging needs being met via a national vehicle infrastructure strategy, which must consider all vehicle types. Indeed, given the majority of new HGV market must be zero-emission by 2035, Action has to begin now. And there's some stats here for you guys right at the bottom, and just some of the ones I basically read out further up, but there's some graphs here as well on the motoringchronicle.com if you want to go check out that article. I mean, it does come down to the same fundamental problems as what the UK automotive industry is in general. I mean, it's all well and good producing these vehicles, and you can offer these incentives all you want, but at the end of the day, if the infrastructure is not there for them, people aren't going to buy them, and it's reflected in the numbers being so tiny, 0.5% of market share. At the end of the day, the best way to kind of explain this really is it's like building a bunch of trains for a new railway system, but not actually putting the tracks down. I mean, it's not as literal as that. You can still use these lorries on UK roads, but the fact that there are such few charging points currently available for them, and I would have to assume that these use different charging points to what regular EVs do because they're much larger, they have to go much further distances, so you need something dedicated there, I would assume, compared to what a regular charge point would be. Otherwise, they wouldn't have this problem and there would be more of an infrastructure there. Additionally, yeah, you need the depots to be there because they're going to be spending a long time there, and that's the ideal kind of time really to actually recharge those vehicles. So you can kill two birds with one stone, basically. In a sense, it'd be even better than what it would be currently with petrol and diesel powered trucks. I imagine the vast majority are diesel powered. Larger vehicles normally are, of course. Because you can't, I mean, I don't know. I've never worked at depot on that side of things when it comes to vehicles with trucks and stuff. Done vans, of course, but I would assume they don't refuel them themselves. They go to petrol stations and do it themselves. So, but yeah, a large change is needed, but the infrastructure has to be in place, and it's just not currently. So that's why they're not being taken up. Simple as that, really. It's not rocket science. But guys, what do you think? What do you think has to be done to improve this situation? Can you see them hitting that target by 2035? That is 10 years away, and I cannot see it happening. I can't. A lot can happen in 10 years, of course, but it feels like we've already passed the point of no return, really, when it comes to that. So, yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments below, as always, guys, and we'll see you soon for some more content on the world of motoring here on the motoringchronicle.com. Have a great day, guys. Have a great week. See you very soon.